Welcome back to this video. In this video we'll see extended numbered ACL. The last video we saw standard numbered ACL, and here we have the same diagram. The requirements are here. We have total of 6 different requirements. First one is deny 2.0 from accessing 1.2 HTTP service. The entire 2.0 here in the middle should not access the HTTP service of 1.2, which is this server here. Next one, deny 2.0. Again, the entire network should not access the DNS service of this 1.4. Third one, 3.0. Again, the complete network here should not access the FTP service of 1.4, which is this server here. Next one, 3.1, which is this PC here, from accessing the HTTP service of 1.2, which is a server here. Next one, deny 3.2. 3.2 is this server from accessing 1.1 this PC. Basically they should not ping. And permit any meaning apart from these requirements, apart from these protocols or rules, everything else should work. For example, we are only denying 2.0 from accessing a HTTP service of 1.2, but they still should be able to ping 1.2. So one of these PCs, like say this PC, should ping 1.2. We are only blocking the HTTP service, so that's what it's permit any means. Here we have some things we need to configure, like the protocols. I'll talk about it as we do the configuration. This one we talked about in the last video. Basically the same thing. We need to identify the router closest to the destination. So from the requirements we know that the destination is one network, right? This complete 1.0 network, that's where the traffic that coming to, and that's where we need to block the certain services. So 1.0 being our destination, the router closest to that would be this router here, and this G000, which is the default gateway, would be the interface we need to apply the ACL. After configuring the ACL, we need to apply it on this interface. So this inbound, outbound, I'll talk about it while we configure that part. So other than that, let's go to our router. We have decided to configure ACL on this router because this is the router closest to our destination. So I've already configured IP routing. So let's go ahead and start configuring ACL. So access list, that would be the command we start with for extended ACL. And if I put a question mark, access list, for extended there's 100, 199. We can choose any of those numbers. So let's go with 100. And then deny, because we are denying something, right? Accessing the HTTP service. So HTTP is the service of which protocol? That much we need to know prior configuring. If I put a question mark, it will give me some options, but it will not tell me which one which. So we as an administrator should know our protocols. So we know that HTTP is a service of TCP. So we need to choose TCP here. And if I put a question mark again, it is asking for a source host. So our source is coming from the entire 2 network. So we need to put 192.168.2.0. Since it is an entire network, we need to provide wildcard bits. So if I put a question mark there, it's going to tell me wildcard bits here. So it's a class C network, so wildcard is 0.0.0.255. And again, if I put a question mark, it needs a destination address. So our destination is 1.2. So I need to say host 192.168.1.2 equal to what? So we are blocking the HTTP service, and the protocol for that is www. So we need to say www, and we are done with the first requirement. Second one is again the entire two network from accessing 1.4 DNS service. So again access list 100 deny, and DNS is service of which protocol. So we need to know that uh, DNS is service of UDP. Okay, so if I put a question mark here, it's going to give me the show me some options that I can pick, but I would not know which one which. So we have to know our protocol. So it is UDP, and if I put a question mark, it's asking for a source. So our source is again 2.0 network, so it'd be 192.168.2.0, and it would be 0.0.0.255, which is the wildcard bits. And if I put a question mark again, it's going to ask me the destination address. So the destination address is 1.4. So I need to say host 192.168.1.4 equal to what? So DNS is domain name system, and the protocol is domain. So we can just say domain. So it's domain name service, not system. Okay, so the protocol we can put as for DNS domain. So we need to say domain here, domain. Done. Next one, and the complete network, three network from accessing 1.4 FTP service, file transfer protocol service. So again access list 100 deny, and FTP is the service of which protocol? TCP, UDP, ICMP. So we need to know our protocols. So FTP is the service of TCP. Deny TCP. Okay, and the source address would be entire three network. So 192.168.3.0. So since it's a network, we need to provide wildcard mask of 0.0.0.255, and we need to say the host, the destination host. Now it's host 192.168.1.4 equal to, for FTP it's the same as it is, we just say FTP, file transfer protocol. Okay, so the last two, for HTTP we use www as the protocol, and for DNS it was domain. For FTP you can just say FTP itself. Okay, something wrong with the configuration. I think there's some extra space or something. So again I have to do access list 100. I put 10, I think. Yeah, deny TCP 192.168.3.0 0.0.0.255 host 192.168.1.4 equal to FTP. Done. So the next one would be this one, deny 3.1 from accessing 1.2 HTTP service. So access list 100 deny. We know that HTTP is a service of TCP, so it would be TCP, and so the source address would be 3.1. So we need to say host 192.168.3.1. No need for wildcard bits because This is a specific IP we are providing. So next we can just straightly go to the destination address, which is 1.2 192.168.1.2 equal to, and HTTP we use www. Done. Last one, not last one, second to the last one is uh, block 3.2 from pinging 1.1. Okay, so access list 100 deny. So ping is a service of which protocol? ICMP. Okay, we need to know our protocols once again. So deny ICMP, and we are blocking a specific address. So say host 192.168.3.2, and then host destination IP is 1.1 192.168.1.1 and equal to, if I put a question mark here, actually it's the thing about ICMP is it's got um, two protocols, which is ping and telnet. That if we put equal to ping, it's still going to allow telnet, and telnet would show the actual IP address, so it's not really serving the purpose. So it's better leave it as it is like this. We can just end here, press enter here, it will take it, so that we are not specifying anything. Since it would allow telnet, we don't need to say ping. So enter, and it took it. Okay, so you understood the concept, I believe. Since ICMP has two different protocols, which is telnet and ping, if we say equal to ping, then it would still allow telnet. So that means it's not serving the purpose, because within telnet it would show the IP address. So that is not a good, they can still access the router or the PC. So it's not a good way to um, do it. So let's not do anything, just simply hit enter there. It would block both of them. Okay, it would block both ping and telnet. Now come to last one, permit any. So access list access list 100 permit any in sorry any. Okay, we need to say permit IP any permit IP any, and we are done. So we need to put IP between permit and any, the first any. Okay, not just permit any. Access list 100 permit IP any source to any destination. Other than these services we are blocking, everything else should work. So as far as the configuration of ACL, we are done. But just like some moments ago I mentioned, we need to apply the ACL at this interface here, G000. Uh, then only this ACL rules would uh, apply, because if we don't say in or out, this interface would not block the incoming traffic. Okay, so therefore uh, the ACL will not work at this time. We can verify that. Just verify a couple of these. So 2.0, let's go to this 2.1. Okay, and let's try to access the HTTP service of 1.2. Okay, so let's go to web browser 192.168.1.2, and if I press go, it's going to open the page like this, because right now ACL is not working, it's not blocking anything. I am accessing the web page. And next one is I cannot check DNS domain in packet tracer, so let's see. Let's go to 3.1 and try to access 1.4 FTP service. So 3.1 FTP FTP 192.168.1.4. It should ask me for a username and password right here. For packet tracer it's Cisco, and password is also Cisco, and I'm in. That means the ACL is not working right now. I am able to access the FTP service of this 1.4, and I need to say exit or quit, and I'm out. Okay, so right now ACL is not working, so we need to go back to this router here, and we need to go to this interface G000, interface G000, IP access group. We used 100, right? So we have to provide that same number whichever we used for the access list. And in or out, it's asking for in or out. How do we figure this out? Okay, let's go here. Okay, this is our destination, right? The entire one network is the destination. So from this router is going out through this interface, and when it's coming to this router here, it's going in to this through this interface here, and this G000, which is our gateway for the one network, it's from there it's coming out to this LAN here. Okay, so which means it's we need to say out. Okay, here it's coming out, all the traffic coming in at this interface, but at the default gateway interface it's coming out to the LAN. Okay, so we need to say out. So here out, done. Now we can confirm we have completed the entire ACL process. Now let's check everything. So again we go to 2.0, 2.1 and try to access this FTP service of, or the HTTP service of 1.2. So 192.168.1.2. It should block. It should not open the web page. It should say something like server timeout, something of that nature. It's taking some time, which means it's looking like it's going to work, meaning ACL is working, and it should give me the message something like timeout or something, server timeout. But you got the concept, right? The last time we were able to open the web page. Now it's not opening, and it should give me some error message, but we'll wait for that. Next is I cannot check DNS service in packet tracer, so let's go to 3.1 and try to do the same thing, access the FTP service of 1.4. So FTP service of 1.4 and is saying trying to connect, and it should block. It should not ask me for username password. Okay, it's taking some time, so it should also say some kind of error. Okay, we'll come to that. While it waits, we'll check the next one. 3.1 should not access the HTTP service of 1.2. 192.168.1.2. It should not open up the web page, and it's not opening, and it looks like the ACL is working. Usually it gives you like some kind of error message, but some reason today is not doing, but it's still serving the purpose. It's not opening up the web page. Now let's try to ping this 3.2 1.1 from 3.2. Ping 192.168.1.1. It should block, and it is blocking. Destination host unreachable. So that is also working. So first one 1.2. So let's go to 2.1, and it's still not giving me any error message, but at the same time it's not opening up the web page, right? So it is serving the purpose. So here we can see request timeout. So it is working, but it should ping 1.2. So let's verify that. Ping 192.168.1.2, because we are only blocking the HTTP service, so this PC should still able to ping this 1.2, and we are getting the reply. So that is working. So that's what this permit any means. Okay, everything else should work. Same thing 2.0 1. Or that one I cannot verify, but let me go to 2.1 and ping 1.4. It should ping 1.4. Ping 192.168.1.4, and we are getting the reply. Go to 3. Let's go to 3.1, and we are only blocking the FTP service, but it should open up the web page. Okay, let's verify that. 192.168.1.1.4. It should open up the web page because we are only blocking this FTP service, and it is opening. So that is also working, and it should also ping 1.4. But you got the concept. 3.1 should not access HTTP service of 1.2, but it should access the FTP service of 1.2. So we got the error from the last FTPs. We tried to connect from 3.1 to 1.4. So So that's what this is for. So it's working. It says error opening FTP. Okay, timed out. Okay, so let's go to we are verifying 3.1 accessing HTTP service, but it should um, it should access the FTP service of 1.2. And we are in almost in. We need to provide the credentials Cisco, and then password same Cisco, and we are in. So that is also working. You can say quit to go back and exit the FTP service. Okay, so everything is working. Our ACL is working 100%. It's blocking our requirements, but permitting other services. So I hope it helps somewhat. If you have any questions, please ask in the comments. So in the next video, we'll see hopefully standard named access list. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you. Good day.